Welcome back to the Pluto Sphere.
Connecting decentralized technologies to the global economy.
We are here to bring you the latest from the leading commanders in this space.
And this week we welcome our guest, Zack Badger, co-founder of Privi Protocol, a decentralized social metaverse. Privi introducing a new social economy with social tokens, NFTs, custom DAOs, all backed by revolutionary DeFi toolkit.
Hi, Zack. Thanks for coming on. If we could just sort of have a brief overview of what it is Privi are doing. Obviously, you guys are sort of the DeFi revolution for social media, which is fantastic. And we're going to divulge all of the details on that. But if you could start with a brief overview, that'd be great.
It is kind of a blend of both social and financial. When we started building, there were a lot of gaps in the social networks, and the gaps we think could have been filled with financial rails. Obviously, both are decentralized, and in order for a prosperous win-win social network to take hold, especially in the mainstream, it was really important that we started building DeFi applications. So we started building DeFi applications, liquidity pools, insurance pools, credit pools, indexes, wallets with atomic swaps to popular chains. And once we had that foundational layer, then we started plugging in how can our go-to-market look like with social media. Obviously, this is mainly around how people consume, stream, read, share, but with both together, kind of like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, it makes it much more approachable and sticky for the mainstream user, not just the crypto user.
Awesome. So in terms of bringing the finance sort of element to your page and sharing ability, how are you going to use the sort of token economy in your space?
Right. So I think the NFT is the hot word of the moment. I think 6 months back, no one really heard of what NFTs are. And now I walked into a restaurant and a couple of, 2 or 3 couples who probably never heard of NFTs 6 months back were talking about NFTs, and we overheard them and we got really excited. And I think a lot of the NFT buzz is around artwork, but I think for us, it extends to other different kinds of media. It extends to video, it extends to music, it extends to live audio like Clubhouse. And your ability to customize the token to each individual use case makes it infinite. Think about if I wanted to fractionalize one of my content so let's say I wanted to fractionalize 30% of my content to my biggest fans. That allows me to kind of pre-fund it in a way that allows me to create a new revenue stream in a way that allows my fans to take part in what I'm doing, to maybe get exclusive rights to things in the future because I own this token. So that's just NFTs. We have social tokens as well. We have social tokens really embedded in our custom DAOs. Custom DAOs, think of them like Facebook groups, but not Facebook groups. From a UI perspective, it looks like Facebook groups, but from a functionality perspective, they're self-governable. They're managed and operated by each community's own social tokens, and that explodes with possibilities. A treasury, you can assign roles, you can vest, you can tax, all within just a community. So when you think about our token economy, it really is just an explosion of functionality.
Okay, that has gone super, super deep. So for the followers that sort of don't really understand all of that, let's maybe take it back a notch.
Yeah, I'll go easy.
Yeah. Maybe we just start with the user experience. What will the difference be to how people access the centralized social at the moment? We can go on Spotify, we can download music, we can go on Facebook, we can socialize. How is that going to be for someone that's never entered crypto before and possibly don't know any of the words you've just said? How would you encourage them to sort of get into Privi and start using it as a regular app, I guess?
Yeah, good question. I think the onus is on the entrepreneur to make a UI and UX that makes it omnipresent but invisible. Blockchain, no one really questions how the internet works, yet we live on it every day. And I would stress to the mainstream user that there is, blockchain's really cool. Stuff like decentralized means that it's not owned by one person. NFT means that it's a tokenization of a thing and not a currency. A social token means it's like a brand token. It's like a group token, a person token. A DAO is just another fancy word to say kind of online digital community LLC in a way. And so when you think about using Privi, we make it invisible. You don't even know it's there. You easily connect your wallets. You purchase Privi tokens with a credit card. You start consuming media and connecting with your creators right away. But I really think if it's advice you're looking for, I would just wait for an amazing product to come out that has great UI UX, and don't question it. Just know that, and it's like I don't question what the internet is on Facebook. I don't question what it is on YouTube, but I just use it and I love it and it's easy.
So what would you say, sort of in layperson's terms, is the major differences between Privi and sort of the Facebooks and the Twitters?
You own it. I think reclaim your space with Privi. I think if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, you're renting the space. The famous Netflix documentary, The Social Dilemma, says if you aren't paying for it, you're the customer. Or you are the product. And I think the biggest difference is with Privi is that we have all the same bells and whistles as all the major Web 2, Spotify, YouTube platforms. But this is all yours. There's no intermediary. We take a small transaction fee for everything, but everything looks and behave how you want it to look and behave. Every transaction is customizable to your audience. So yeah, it's reclaiming your space with Privi.
Love it.
I guess one of the big questions is, how do you govern it then in that case? Because obviously we know what decentralized means, but for the people that are thinking, if someone says something and trolling and things like that start happening and occurring, how do you police it if no one in particular is looking after it? And I think that is a really, really big question at the moment. I think this is the turning point. People will understand how you're going to look after them in this space, and then maybe they'll start using it. At the moment, it's a very scarce environment where people are only there because, let's face it, people in the crypto space are nice. We're supporting each other. We're, encouraging each other. And if there is a little bit of backlash, normally we have sort of in our Telegram groups, we have a community manager that's like, hey, you're going to get kicked off if you do that. What is going to be that policing effect with Privi?
I think that's going to disarm a lot of people initially when products like Privi start penetrating the mass market. Is that there is kind of no one there is no Mark Zuckerberg you can turn to complain to. There is no one entity that you can turn to complain to if there's nefarious content or nefarious actors kind of going around Privi or other decentralized networks. We have a voting mechanism where if you own Privi tokens, you stake them and vote. And, I, like a lot of listeners, 1 year plus ago, I didn't really know much about crypto. So I started using products and at first it was a bit disarming to see that I'm voting and things like how much to pay this engineer's salary and things like, should this content be allowed or not? It was foreign to me, but it made me realize that the Web 2 interfaces, the people are smart enough and our collective conscious together, put together can vote and drive the network the way we want it to. So while it will be a bit disarming for people at first, I think that digital communities will quickly get over that and love that they're in control of their own network.
So I guess you guys are new to the space, as you've just said. So what about things like Decentraland? I know you guys are using the Metaverse to trade NFTs and things like that. So how do you feel about sort of stepping into that? I don't know, your different worlds, your virtual worlds, Decentraland and things like that with Privi and what you're doing. I guess that is the best way for you guys to gain your traction. But how do you feel as non-crypto users entering that?
Great question. When we think about being kind of a market leader, you want to, when you're young, build wide and big. And we really want to have a 3D virtual world be a part of our experience immediately. So starting June, when we launch our product, soft launch our product, it will be there. So this isn't, we're not a roadmap company. We don't have a white paper. I mean, we have a light paper, but we're busy developing our product, and we're going to be launching it within the next month, and 3D will be there. And if, you know, a lot of people, when they think of 3D, they think of putting on goggles, putting on hardware, and then kind of motioning around and interacting with stuff. And you know, that hardware component is you know, something that we can't control, but what we can control is how people interact with a product in a 2D screen. So Decentraland is great. You know, they kind of crested the 3D wave for the crypto users, so people can see, oh, this is possible. It's not just a video game, you know, where people are normally interacting with virtual worlds. We see our metaverse being, you know, if I'm scrolling through a social feed, it can get quite mundane, and you know, I find Instagram quite boring. And so what if you know, and Madion and Porter Robinson just did a virtual concert. What if you could show up you go to a profile or DAO or community, and you go into a virtual world. You step into the virtual world, and you look left and you look right, and you're seeing people with different avatars, and you see that on top they have their location, and then you step into maybe a room where a TED talk. It's not a TED talk, but it's someone lecturing and you know, kind of educating the audience. And then you look left and you look right, and you see all the people who kind of share your interests, and then you jump out of that room, you walk over to a concert in the other room, and then you jump out into an art room, and then you see a person's own. So it's not just a place where you trade NFTs, it's a place where you interact and you coexist. And as we become more hunkered down in our flats and our houses, you know, over the last year, we thought, hey, why don't we just kind of make our experience, which is packed with all these features, in the virtual world.
We've got a couple of our projects that are actually launching sort of music NFTs at the moment, talking about doing, you know, virtual gigs and whatnot in Decentraland. Is that something that you're thinking of, maybe advertising, I don't know, ticketing? I honestly have no idea how it's going to work.
So payments
haven't launched yet, and you haven't launched yet, but the ideas are there, blooming.
Yeah, and you know, it's really cool for us to be kind of defining what it looks like. And we have one of the things that we've technically achieved is, as you are streaming something, video, think Netflix, YouTube, like streaming stuff, you are streaming the creator or the creators or the owners crypto on a second by second basis. So if you are in a 3D world for only 28 minutes, you're streaming crypto of whatever that crypto's creator wants, whether it be USDT, whether it be Bitcoin or Ethereum, you're streaming it to them as you exist in this land. So it's a ticket, but it's also kind of packed with, I mean, crypto is really, it's not just a currency, it's currency plus. It's like, you know, it's an exchange of value, but it's also, what else with this token am I getting? It's XYZ, it's ABC. It could be, I get rights to the next 3 concerts in the virtual room if I get rights to these things. So, you know, for us, it really streaming to us is like paid per second, and you pay as you consume. So we're playing around with that tech.
Fantastic. Yeah, no, definitely. I'm super excited for it to come out and for us to all have a little play on it, to be honest. We're going to be advertising as much stuff as we can on your on Privi. Maybe we could just divulge a little bit about team and timeline. Maybe the co-founders, you said you met in Barcelona. There was 4, I think you said.
Yeah, we met in Barcelona, kind of a mixed bag as far as, you know, national flags, a couple Americans, German, Spanish. And so we're really kind of from the whole world. And we, you know, as I said before, we you know, I don't really understand how all these projects are getting funded with just white papers. That's not how it works in the real world where we came from. And so our product is out next month. And we were able to close our pre-sale token sale through showing the product and showing, hey, you're not just investing in a PDF and maybe some advisors and some cool partnerships. You're investing in an actual product. Here you go, interact with it. It's live next month.
And who are those partnerships that you've got coming up?
So partnerships for us are creators. We crafted our product for creators. We have over 500 creators that are waitlisted to join. We have major DJs and musicians that I cannot share, but are billions and billions of streams a month from the UK. So they're on the UK top 100 Billboard.
We're very excited about all of them.
Will be joining. I was just on a call with a couple of them yesterday, talking about how they can price their music, how they can make some of their music for free, how they can interact with 3D. So our partnerships are focused on the traction of the product, getting the content into the product. Like I said, we have over 10,000 users on the wait list that were requesting an invite. It's very much going to be a Clubhouse model. So you kind of need to know people to get in initially. That helps us kind of police the content initially out of the gate. We have over 500 creators. So these are people who are bloggers, YouTubers, musicians themselves, artists. And then we have kind of the major headline musicians and DJs that we're partnered with.
Wow. How are you attracting all of these partners, and also how are you going to be attracting the users?
It's actually easier than it sounds. You just have to create something that they need.
I'm really excited for you to divulge who's playing, all the DJs that you've collabed with, and then I think it would just come. They're like sheep.
Yeah, well, I hope so too. We are, it's one of those things where the music industry is struggling so much, but I think that a lot of the, there's a lot of competition brewing in the space, and there's just a lot of things moving around in the space. And I think a lot of the artists that we've spoken to, how we've been able to get this early success pre-product is that we give them, the users, a space to listen to the music for free. We give them a space to pre-fund and connect with their artists in a way that, I don't know, creates a stronger link. My brother-in-law, for example, pays $70 a month to Madion because he loves the DJ. That's a lot, and I think that is just almost a hyper proof of concept. But what we're really seeing is that once a lot of these artists saw the platform, that it was real, that they could interact with it, that they connect with their audience, so they could control their transactions, that they could control their own and reclaim their own space, then it really wasn't that difficult to get a lot of people on and excited about it.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It's been absolutely fantastic. We've loved hearing about everything that Privi are doing. Thank you.
No problem.
So thanks so much, Zack, for coming on, and thanks Pluto Nauts for watching. We'll be back soon with more from the galaxy of Pluto. In the meantime, don't forget to give us a like
and give us a share
and subscribe.